Hi guys, Meta and Glide here. As you may or may not know, we have just released our first plugin called Crystal Clear. It's a plugin aimed at tackling horrible muddy frequencies that can completely ruin your mix and also be difficult to get rid of if you don't know how to apply the right techniques. As producers, we have struggled with this problem ourselves, and we hear it all the time where tracks have really good ideas but they're let down by the mix because they're clouded by this wall of fog. So we put our heads together and came up with the idea of Crystal Clear to help producers tackle this problem. Okay, so what is Crystal Clear? So what it is an enhancer that applies dynamic Pultec style fixed frequency EQ curves to boost and cut in the right areas, and also lets you add subtle saturation and harmonics. So what we're going to do is run it on some example material and let you hear it in action and decide for yourselves if it's right for you. Okay, so let's jump straight in. Okay, so what we're going to test it out on first is a mid bass. So we've got it already set up here with the kick, the sub and the mid bass. So I'll just solo the mid bass at first, select the mid bass, and we'll bring the plugin up. Okay, so we'll just bypass it and I'll just play you the mid bass how it is at the moment without the plugin engaged. Okay, so it sounds fine, but it has got those muddy, foggy frequencies. So what we'll do, we'll engage the plugin and then we'll just start turning some of these dials, and I'll explain as we go exactly what the way that we use it and what they're doing. Okay, so let's play it from the start. Okay, so we start with the crystal dial, and this is where the magic happens basically. This will get rid of your muddy, foggy frequencies. So let's just start dialing it in. Okay, so we've got it at 25%. The best thing to do is, as you're going through turning these dials, is just keep bypassing, so you just A and B in just to see how it's affecting the sound. So that's bypassed, and that's with it on. You can already hear it starting to clean up the sound. So let's just apply a little bit more crystal, say 35%. You can hear how that's cleaned up the sound. So the next thing we would do, we would add the sheen. So we're going to turn that all the way up, and that adds in subtle saturation. And then what we can do is turn up the input, but it won't turn up the overall output of the volume because it's automatic gain compensated. So by turning up the input, all you're going to be doing is driving more saturation, more harmonics into the sound. So at lower values, you're going to get more saturation harmonics. At higher values, you're going to get more of like crunchy tones. So it really does depend on what you're applying it to, what material. So it's just to taste. So let's have a listen. Again, we'll A and B. Okay, that sounds about right. Next thing that we can do is add, if needed, a high pass filter. So you've got this starting at 10 Hertz and it goes all the way up to 360. So the same as you would apply it on an EQ. If you need to get rid of those low lows, you can just bring this up to, say, 100 Hertz. If you just need to clean up that low range. So again, we're going to bypass it on and off. You can just hear how much it's clearing up the sound. Okay, so next thing would be, you might want to get a balance of wet and dry. So this is your mix knob basically, where you can get that balance. In this case, we're just going to leave it 100%, but sometimes you might want to mix the two. Okay, next you can engage the oversampling, which will give you a smoother sound. It will slightly increase the CPU usage, but not by much. And overall, this is a great plugin for CPU. The CPU usage is quite low. So we're going to leave it on and A and B once more. then we can just increase the output a little bit because I think it's come down in volume slightly. That's about right. And then what we can do is play it with our sub and our kick. And then what I'll do is A and B with it on and off. It's just night and day, the difference that it makes. It's a very transparent sounding plugin, but really effective. It gets rid of obviously those unwanted frequencies, but still keeps the character of the original sound. Okay, so the next material we're going to try it on is one of our leads from our track, The Shimmering. So what we'll do, we'll just play it without. Okay, so let's bring the plugin up. Now the process is going to be exactly the same as it was with the mid bass. Just go through exactly the same process, but obviously the values might change because it's different material. So let's just run it and just start dialing them in. So you can just hear how much mud it's removing. Completely removed all the flog when it's engaged. And let's just smooth it out slightly with the oversampling. That gives it more of a sheen, more of a smooth sound. Again, bypassing on and off. And it's as simple as that, clearing up your leads. Okay, so the next material we're going to try it on is pianos. It sounds great on pianos. As you probably know, once you clear out mid-range from pianos, it really brings out the sound. So applying crystal clear to pianos, yeah, really makes them shine. So we'll just play the piano. The piano's from our track Renaissance. So this is without. Okay, and let's just engage it and then just start dialing it in again. It's getting rid of them horrible boxy sounds, boxy frequencies. Completely cleans it up. So the next material we've got to try it on is layered strings and pads. Now we've really layered them up here, lots of different pads and strings. So let's just play it without. Let's just open the plugin and just bypass it. And let's start dialing it in. Again, just completely cleaned it up within just a few clicks. Okay, next up is just a guitar loop that we've got here. So let's bring the plug-in up and play it without. Okay, let's start making some changes. Just horrible boxy tones that it's getting rid of. something that might take you a long time to do with EQ. And obviously if you don't know how to do it, it's going to take you even longer, and you've got a chance of even ruining the material. So yeah. Just a few small adjustments and you've got a much cleaner sound. Okay, so next up we've got a vocal. This vocal's from our track Lacuna. So let's just bring up the plugin. And we'll just put it on bypass and play the vocal. Okay, and we'll start dialing it in. Again, completely cleaned it up with just a few clicks. Note as well that we're mixing here on group channels on buses, so there's nothing stopping you from individual channels or groups buses. We're just doing it to give you an idea of exactly how it works and how it sounds. So again, with it off. With it on. Just clean it up. Okay, lastly, what we're going to use it on is one of our pre-masters of a track that we remixed by Oliver Imsing, and it's called Flying Over Burn. It was released on Premier League Recordings. So yeah, as we said before, you can use it on any material. You can use it for mixing or mastering, so we'll just show you how it clears up your masters as well. Okay, so let's just get the plugin up and just hear it without. Obviously, when it comes to mastering, it's all about lower values anyway, so you're going to have to be a bit more subtle with it than when you are when you're mixing, and obviously use your ears. Cleaned it up again. You can use it on any material. There isn't anything that we found that it doesn't clear up or doesn't work well on today. About finding your settings, your own settings to taste, and letting it do all the work. Near it again with it off, with it on, how it's just completely cleaned it up. Again, you can use the mix to just dial in the right amount. Put back on the input a little bit, give it less saturation. But yeah, it makes a massive difference on all material. Okay guys, so the plugin is available now for Mac and PC at magsignaturesound.com. It's also M1 compatible, so if you're interested in purchasing it, it's priced at £20, so it won't break the bank, but it will drastically help your overall mixes and masters to get a cleaner, clearer, more polished sound. Okay guys, well, we hope you enjoyed the video, and we would be really interested to hear what you guys think of the plugin if you decide to purchase it, obviously. So, until next time, take care guys.